Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Some good news, everybody. First is that I think that recently, maybe within a week or even few days, I feel that there is so much of the negative sentiment along the market, and a lot of people are expecting either that Bitcoin will never return to the previous levels, maybe like will stay below 1000 or something like that, or even go to zero, it will disappear, or even those who are more conservative but still even reasonable, but still they think that BTC can actually fall to some crazy levels like $1,000 or $1,500, something like that, and we will not see any kind of reversal anytime soon. So why it is good is that it means that it's actually very close to change the trend, because the more people are panicking, the more likely it is the pivotal point for the price. So when there is blood, we need to buy, but of course it's not a financial advice. Please make your own research, do your own due diligence, and make your own decisions. What I was going to share with you today is I think this is very appropriate scheme, which I've seen before in one of the technical analysts video. I don't remember who was that, but I think it's still valuable. So you can imagine that there is some kind of support level, and the price is moving above this level, like forming this zigzag formation and pattern, and we always bounce off this support level, and people say, okay, this support is really strong, and if we'll trade within this channel, then we'll probably make a profit as soon as we will see the new rise. Then along this rise we can make a buy, and then we will close at this point or something like that, and we need just to put our stop loss a little lower than this support level. And so what we do here, as a whale or market manipulator, whatever you call them, you would let people buy, and then you move upwards, and then you artificially move the price down to break the support. And as soon as the stop losses are distributed below in a certain area, which is like mathematically proven, the distribution of those stop losses in some area below the support, as soon as the price goes down, we pin through all those stops and collect the additional huge liquidity for the for the asset. Because if you're a huge player, especially on a relatively small market like crypto, you cannot fill your position by buying on this low on these dips, because they're very short, the liquidity is low, and also that you don't want to move the price of the asset by buying it. So you need to make it in some clever way. So that's what you're doing. So you push the price down, collecting stop orders. Also, some people who didn't go long, who are seeing the breakdown through this support, they actually going short, and you also collect those shorts. But as soon as you optimized your long position in this area, you actually reverse that, and you can launch the price upwards finally, because you finally collected your long position, and you can leave the price go up, so you can eventually realize your profit at the new higher level. So, and what is happening is that it's very similar, I think, to what we see for Bitcoin. So this is basically what we were told. So it's a strong level and hardly possible this to be broken, and then we finally broke it, and we are pinned through all the stops and have some shorts, and eventually we need to go upwards, because all those huge buyers who did finally bought some liquidity here, because you see the buy and sells are always symmetrical. If people are panic selling, then somebody is buying. You always have to think about the other side player. So why he or she does the opposite reversal trade to you, and it is often that if you are inexperienced or small player, then probably the opposite player is opposite, so it's probably a huge one or some institution or whatever. So long story short, we need to go a little bit lower to remove the any kind of positiveness which may be for those who understand this situation, and then only after that we can go upwards. The thing is that all this strategy is like, before we will lose our money, all this strategy is based on the classical approach, when we should trade within the channel and so on. And basically the second layer is that we can expect this level to be broken possibly more likely if the more often it was touched by the price. But actually nobody knows when it will be broken, and still you are playing the conservative approach to be statistically right, and of course you will lose some money if you have a stop order and just a few percent of your trade. But this is how the huge players still try to utilize this and get their position. Okay, this is the variation of like option what will happen, and let's look at the current price. What I've noticed that we have this like this is a short-term sort of expectation now. This was the triangle which we broke downwards before, and it played out very nicely. What I see now that maybe this triangle will be repeated the same way, but just shifted downwards following the same channel sort of, and we already had a lot of the tests of our support around here, and probably we may go to test the resistance once or twice after that. So this I drew yesterday, so we may go up to some like even 4,000 or a little lower, and then test the support once again, or even break it right here, or maybe go back to the little higher level and then finally break it. So if this triangle will be play out, of course it's just the probability, but then it will be broke out, then it's very likely that we'll go to the height of this triangle, which would lead us to like 3,000 or below $3,000, and at this point we will probably see a bounce off, unless there will be very thin market and the momentum will be very strong, downwards momentum will be strong. We can of course pin it a bit lower. So but if we will do upwards, then probably we will see some sort of bifurcation at this point. So either we will go up or we will go down. So if the market will be weak, then we very likely to go even lower to finally find some strength, unless we will have this already right here, and then we may see the reversal and rise to the new levels, and everything will be bullish again. We'll see. Maybe it will. I mean, it's very simple TA, and it's very likely to happen, as it shows recently. The simplest TA works for Bitcoin. I must mention this stock market, like Nasdaq, whatever, or S&P or Dow Jones. They basically show the same patterns. So now we have little rise of the stocks, and However, so far it is still not higher, not above the previous high, and actually we need to go at least somewhere around here to be more or less confident in the growth. But as soon as we will make a new lower high, I think it is the time somewhere around here, then we will go even lower to make a lower low. And since we see at least some of the correlation, at least recently, right? It's not 100% correct, but sometimes we don't see correlation whatsoever. But recently we see very nice correlation with stocks, between Bitcoin and stocks, and if we will have it right now, then probably we will go lower exactly when the stocks will go low as well. And timing is very nice and for this correlation, so probably if it will happen, then we'll go again just exactly to the levels which were discussed before. Also, these 3000 levels, I think, for Bitcoin, I think it's somehow on the same line with the $100 billion total market capitalization, and this was that would be a very strong psychological point, so and like beautiful point to reverse. So we'll see if it will happen. It would be nice. Okay, that is it for today. I hope that was useful. If it was, please leave a like and your comment, and I hope to see you tomorrow in the next update. Safe trading. Goodbye.